Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about how to use SWOT analysis to build a better business strategy. SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And when you use it the right way, it can help you understand where your business is strong, where it is vulnerable, where growth may come from, and what could slow you down. In this video, we're going to go over things step by step. The goal is to make better decisions and build a stronger business. And to start thinking strategically. You always got to remember, SWOT analysis separates internal reality from external conditions. Your strengths and weaknesses are internal. Those are things inside the business. Your opportunities and threats are external. Those are things happening in the market, the economy, the industry, the platform, or the competitive environment. Now, let's walk through each part. The first part of SWOT is strengths. Strengths are things your business already does well. These are your advantages. Maybe you have a strong brand. Maybe you have a loyal audience. Maybe you have a unique skill set. Maybe you have trust in the marketplace. Maybe you have strong content, a good reputation, great systems, or a clear niche. Here's the key question. What do we already do well? That question matters because strategy should not only be about fixing problems, strategy should also be about doubling down on advantages. A lot of businesses ignore this. They spend all their time looking at what is broken, but never ask what is already working that we should do more of. For example, if your audience trusts you because you explain things clearly, that is a strength. If your customers keep coming back because your process is reliable, that is a strength. If your content gets engagement because people see you as practical and honest, that is a strength. These are assets you can build around. A strength becomes strategic when you can turn it into leverage. The second part is weaknesses. Weaknesses are the internal issues holding the business back. This is where you have to be honest. Maybe your offer is unclear. Maybe your content is inconsistent. Maybe the business depends too much on the founder. Maybe you do not have documented systems. Maybe your sales process is weak. Maybe your audience likes your content, but they do not know what the next step is. That last one is big. A lot of business have attention, but no conversion path. They're getting views, likes, comments, and maybe even trust, but they do not have a clear funnel. No lead magnet, no email list, no entry-level offer, no product ladder, no follow-up system. So the audience consumes the content and then disappears. That is a weakness. And weaknesses matter because if you ignore them, they usually compound. Small gaps become big bottlenecks. A weak system becomes burnout. An unclear offer becomes slow sales. No tracking becomes poor decision making. No documented process becomes founder dependence. The key question is what weakness, if fixed, would create the biggest improvement? Do not try to fix everything at once. Find the bottleneck, find the constraint. Find the one weak point that, if improved, would unlock more growth. Because business strategy It's not about doing everything. It is about identifying what matters most and executing in the right order. The third part is opportunities. Opportunities are external chances for growth. These are things happening outside the business that you may be able to capture. Maybe there is rising demand in your market. Maybe AI tools are reducing production costs. Maybe short form videos is helping small brands reach more people. Maybe customers are looking for education because the market is confusing. Maybe your audience has a pain point that is not being solved well. Maybe your competitors are focused on the wrong thing, and there is room for more trustworthy education first branding. Opportunities are powerful, but they also can be distracting. Just because something is an opportunity does not mean it is your opportunity. Every opportunity should be filtered through your strengths, your audience, your business model, and your capacity. For example, you've got to remember, what your brand is. The question is, where is there demand that matches our strengths? That is where strategy starts to get sharper. You're not trying to chase what is popular. You are matching market demand with your unique advantage. The fourth part is threats. Threats are external risks that could hurt your business. You have to remember, real strategy includes risk control. Threats could include new competitors, algorithm changes, platform dependence, market downturns, regulatory risk, customer distrust, pricing pressure, rising costs, or changes in consumer behavior. You always got to remember to focus on credibility. Another major threat is platform dependence. If your entire business depends on one social media platform, you do not really own your distribution. An algorithm change can hurt your reach overnight. This is why owned assets matter. Email list, website, customer database, downloadable resources, paid products, repeat customers, community, CRM. Those are things that give the business more durability. The key question for threats is, what could hurt us and how do we build protection now? This is a very important question because a good business strategy is not just offensive, it is defensive too. Let's say we're analyzing a wealth building brand. The strengths might be trust, clear communication, long-term thinking, practical frameworks, and the ability to simplify complex topics. Really, you'd have to look at some of the weaknesses as well, which could include unclear product ladder, inconsistent calls to action, too many content topics, and too much dependence on the founder to create everything manually. We take a quick look at some opportunities. That might be beginner investor education. You might want to consider AI-powered content systems for your business, digital templates, YouTube growth, email newsletters, credit education, and practical tools for people trying to build long-term wealth. The more attention you put on your content, the better your results. Always analyze everything. Now let's take a look at some threats. Saturation, compliance risk, algorithm changes, market hype cycles, and audience skepticism. What you're trying to do here is to build a content to product system. If you're just starting out, you can use free content to build trust. You can use a lead magnet to capture emails. Use templates and checklists as low-ticket products. You can use a course, coaching, or consulting offer as the next step. Then use systems, standard operating procedures, and AI workflows to make the process repeatable. This is how a brand starts becoming a business system. You have to always remember, attention is not the same as a business. Views are not the same as revenue. Followers are not the same as customers. Content is powerful, but content needs a path. Content should build trust. Trust should lead to an email list. The email list should lead to useful offers. The offers should solve real problems. And the business should keep improving based on feedback and data. This is a difference between random activity and strategy. Now let's talk about scenario analysis, because every serious business strategy should include more than one possible outcome. A base case scenario is the realistic path. In the base case, the business grows steadily by clarifying its message, improving content consistency, building a basic funnel, and launching simple products that match the audience needs. The key is steady improvement. Better positioning, better systems, better offers, better tracking. Now let's take a quick look at the bull case scenario. In the bull case, the brand becomes highly trusted in its niche. The content starts compounding. YouTube builds authority. Short-form content expands reach. The email list grows. Templates, prompt packs, checklists, and courses create scalable revenue. Consulting or coaching adds higher ticket income. The business becomes less dependent on one platform because it has owned distribution and reusable assets. That is the upside. Now let's look at the bear case scenario. In the bear case, the business keeps creating content but never builds the funnel. The audience stays confused because the brand talks about too many things at once. The founder gets burned out because nothing is systematized. Views may come and go, but revenue stays inconsistent. And because there is no product ladder, the business has attention without a clear monetization engine. And that is what you want to avoid. And this is why SWOT matters. It forces you to look at the business clearly. Here is a simple way to apply this in your own business. Step 1, write down your top 5 strengths. What do you already do well? Step 2, write down your top 5 weaknesses. What is holding you back? Step 3, write down your top 5 opportunities. Where's the market giving you a chance to grow? Step 4, write down your top 5 threats. What could damage your momentum? Then step 5 is the most important. Turn the analysis into action. Pick one strength to double down on. Pick one weakness to fix. Pick one opportunity to pursue. Pick one threat to protect against. That gives you a focused 90-day strategy. For example, you can double down on educational content, fix the unclear offer, pursue a lead magnet in digital product, protect against platform risk by building an email list. Strategy needs to be clear, honest, and it needs to be executable. A SWOT analysis is not the whole strategy, but it is one of the best starting points. It gives you a clear picture of where you are, what you can use, what you need to fix, where you can grow, and what you need to defend against. And once you have that picture, you can make better decisions. You can start building the business with more discipline. Strong businesses are built through clear thinking, consistent execution, good systems, and honest feedback. Always remember, look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, look at your opportunities, look at your threats. Then build a strategy from there. If this video has helped you, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and comment SWOT below. And be sure to come back next week to check out our latest video. Hope everyone has an amazing week.